So, React. Chances are you've used a dozen apps built with it already today and didn't even know it. It's the engine behind so many of the websites we all use every day. It lets developers build these amazing, super fast user interfaces. But, and this is a big but, that speed and power come with a hidden danger, one that way too many people overlook. And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, just take a look at this chart. I mean, wow. React isn't just popular, it has completely taken over the web. And for good reason, it's an incredible tool. But to really get why security is such a critical piece of the puzzle, we have to go back a little bit, back to the problem that was originally designed to solve. All right, let's set the stage. Before React came along, building a complex, interactive website was, well, it was a mess. Imagine trying to change just one tiny thing on a web page. And to do it, you basically had to tear down and rebuild the entire thing from scratch. It was slow, chaotic, and just a total headache for developers. Think about a social media feed, right? Every like, every comment, every single new post. Developers had to manually keep track of all of that data and then painstakingly tell the browser, step by step, okay, update this number here, now add this text over there. It was a complete nightmare, and it was a perfect recipe for slow, buggy applications. Facebook was living this nightmare, and they knew there had to be a better way. And this was the revolutionary idea. With React, you stop telling the browser how to do its job. Instead, you just declare what you want the screen to look like. It's kind of like you just describe the final painting you want, and React is the master artist that figures out the fastest, most efficient brushstrokes to make it happen. So how does it actually pull off this magic?
It really all comes down to three brilliant core concepts. And once you understand these, you'll see both where React gets its power and where those tricky security risks can start to creep in.
First up, we have components. Honestly, the best way to think of these is as digital Lego bricks. You build a little button brick one time, or maybe a search bar brick. Then you can reuse those bricks over and over again anywhere you want. You just snap them together to build something much bigger, from a simple form to an entire online store. Second, there's something called JSX. Now, this might look a bit strange at first, but it's a developer's superpower. It lets you write what looks like HTML directly inside your JavaScript. So the structure of your page and the logic that controls it all live together in one happy place. It makes building things incredibly fast. And third, this is the real secret sauce, the virtual DOM. Imagine, React keeps a lightweight copy, like a blueprint, of your web page. When something changes, like you click a like button, React doesn't touch the real page. Instead, it updates its little blueprint, instantly figures out the absolute smallest change needed, and then makes one tiny, surgical update to the real screen. That is why React apps feel so blazing fast.
So, you've used all these incredible tools, you've built a fast, beautiful app, and your users love it. You're all done, right? Well, not so fast, because this is the exact moment where so many developers walk straight into a huge, gaping security trap.
This brings us to the most critical question, the one that gets to the heart of the problem. You have to remember, all of that brilliant React code you wrote, it's not running on your nice, safe server. It's running out there, in the wild, inside your user's web browser, an environment that you have absolutely no control over. I want you to just let this quote sink in for a second. Anything sent to the front end is not secure. That's it. This is the golden rule, the fundamental truth of web security. If you take only one thing away today, let it be this. If your code is in the browser, you must assume a clever user can and will look under the hood.
Which leads us to the single biggest and most dangerous mistake you can make, putting secret information, like a private API key, directly into your React code. Doing this isn't like leaving a key under the doormat. It's like posting your key, your home address, and an invitation on a giant billboard for the whole world to see. A hacker will find it, and they will use it to steal data or rack up massive bills on your account.
Okay, so that's the scary part. But the good news is, this is a totally solvable problem. So how do we fix it? How do we use these powerful services without handing over the keys to the kingdom? It's time to open up the security playbook. The industry standard solution is an architecture pattern called backend for frontend, or as you'll often hear, a BFF. You can think of your BFF as a secure middleman, a kind of bodyguard for your React app. Your app never has to handle the dangerous secrets itself. It just asks its bodyguard for what it needs, and the bodyguard does the risky work behind the scenes. And this diagram shows it perfectly. See, the user on the left interacts with your React app in their browser. But when the app needs data from an external service, it doesn't call that service directly. Nope, it makes a request to your BFF, which lives safely on your server. Your BFF holds the secret API key, uses it to get the data, and then sends only the safe, necessary information back to the user. The key never ever leaves your secure server.
Now, the BFF is crucial, but it's part of a bigger security mindset. You should always follow these best practices. Never, and I mean never, type a secret directly into your code. Instead, store it in something called an environment variable on your server. For serious projects, use a dedicated tool like AWS Secrets Manager. And please, rotate your keys regularly. That way, if one ever does leak, the window of opportunity for an attacker is small.
So, you've secured your code, you've locked your keys down tight, you're all good, right? Hang on, what about the hundreds of other open-source libraries that your app depends on? Every one of those is another potential entry point for an attack. This is why you need a security scanner for your project's dependencies. A fantastic and free one is the OWASP Dependency Check tool. Think of it like a background check for your code. It scans every single library in your project, compares them against a global database of known security holes, and gives you a clear report on any potential threats so you can fix them before a hacker finds them.
So, what's the bottom line here? The tools and frameworks will always change, but the core principles of building secure software? Those are here to stay.
So let's recap the playbook. Use React for what it's amazing at, building user interfaces. But always remember, the client side is hostile territory. Never trust it with your secrets. Protect those secrets with the BFF pattern. And finally, constantly scan your dependencies for vulnerabilities. Your app is only as strong as its weakest link.
And I want to leave you with this one thought. Security is not a feature. It's not just another task you check off a list. It is the absolute foundation of any trustworthy application. It has to be part of your thinking from the very first line of code you write.
The web is constantly changing. New technologies bring new possibilities, but they also bring new threats. So the real question isn't just about protecting the app you're building today. It's about how you'll stay informed and adapt to protect whatever you build next. Because that vigilance, that's the key to building things that are not just powerful, but truly safe.